Hey everybody, welcome into Warp Factor 10, our show about all things Star Trek here on the Arena Productions. I'm your host Expat along with my co-host Burley. Burley, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Ready to talk about episode 9, Star Trek Picard. Picard is almost finished. We had our climactic episode. Next week is going to be the final episode. But before we get into that, I just want to let all of you viewers that are new and coming into the Arena Productions channel to please hit that like and the subscribe and the notification bell if you like our content here, so that you'll be notified when we drop a new episode of Warp Factor 10 or any of our other content here on the Arena Productions. And just to let you all know, this is a spoiler-filled recap of Star Trek Picard episode 9 of season 3, titled Vox, which in Latin means voice. So that's just your spoiler warning, because Burley and I, we're going to be throwing spoilers out there throughout, talking about the episode. So that's your spoiler warning. So with that said, Burley, let's jump into it. And of course, we start the episode off and it's, you know, Jack and Deanna, and they go to the red door, and Deanna is there to help him. And then she opens the door and she completely freaks out. And then she runs away, and it really freaks Jack out, because to him, it's like she's not helping him at all. And like, I like that part when he's talking to Picard there. He's like, I'm never going to talk to a Betazoid about my personal life ever again. You know, it was just like, what did you see? You know, what did you see? And she's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to go. You know, so I can understand his feelings about that. How did you feel about that scene?
Yeah, like, I agree. I do understand with Jack acting up and being like, what'd you see? Him getting the rage and all that, and being like, he wants to know.
Yeah.
So badly. She's doing what she thinks because what she saw, spoiler, she saw the Borg.
Yeah.
The Borg cube ship.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay, we need to elect, because she's got a good head on her. She knows, okay, if we go through too far on this, Jack could be contacted. She does not want that.
Yeah.
So she's doing what she thinks is best.
Yeah.
I think she should have at least maybe tried to say, okay, I saw something here. If I tell you here, we could push too far and some bad stuff could happen. Please just trust me. But no, she went immediately for Picard, Deanna, and everyone.
Yeah. So, and she goes to them and tells them, you know, it's the Borg, and that there are protocols, Federation protocols now, and that Jack is considered dangerous. And obviously we get the revelation here from the episode that obviously when Picard had become Locutus of Borg, obviously they had put a code in him, and then when Jack was born, it was transferred over to him. And basically what the changelings' job was to have changelings working on basically each and every starship to work on the transporter system. So because you remember, Burley, on the Titan early in the season, we had that one changeling that was actually working in the transporter room.
Right.
And then later on, of course, they figured out who he was, and I think it was seven of nine who finally caught up to him and killed him. But yeah, so they were working with the transporters to spread the virus. And so Jack, you know, he's got to figure out how to get close to, you know, the Borg, in the sense of, okay, you know, it's like a transponder in his head now. And so he's thinking if he could get close to, you know, the signal and to the Borg, he can maybe do something. And, what did you think of that? I mean, it's like he takes off on a shuttle, and then he goes and he basically gets to wherever the Borg are parked at.
Yeah, this was a little weird here, because they're like, Jack is dangerous. You know, he's like Sidney LaForge had told you he had helped her, gotten her mind and all that. So what are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna send 2 guards to get him and just hold him down.
Yeah.
It was like, no, you know he's just gonna take control of them. And I love like Picard's in the room trying.
Yeah.
But he puts the guards on his own father.
Yeah.
Basically being like, don't.
Yeah.
And then walking away. And then even his mother tries.
Yeah.
She tries so hard, but she can't get through to him. And he just decides, nope, I need to leave. I need to go find where this is coming from and find out myself.
And in this image here, he gets to the Borg home ship or whatever it is there, and guess who's waiting for him? The Borg Queen. I mean, it's like, are we ever gonna do away with the Borg Queens, Burley? I mean, it's like we've had the Borg Queen in First Contact, we've had the Borg Queen in Picard season 2, now we have the Borg Queen again, and obviously the voice of Alice Krieg, who was the voice of the Borg Queen, and the actress who played the Borg Queen in First Contact. So she is back. And and so Jack, basically, it almost seems like he was surrendering there, because then the Borg Queen, assimilates him, so to speak. Yeah. So,
well, I think he had no choice when he got there, because like they said, they're implants, organic implants that were passed down from Picard to Jack.
Right.
That's Starfleet had missed for over 35 years. So even if he wanted to fight, the implants were kind of like, hey, you don't got a chance to fight. You cannot fight against Borg Queen here.
Yeah.
Prepare to be assimilated.
Yeah. And then in the episode, of course, we get Frontier Day, and obviously we get the Enterprise F. So what did you think of the design of the Enterprise F, Burley? I thought it was just a bigger version of the Enterprise E.
Yeah, you read my mind on that.
Mm-hmm.
It is just like the E, but bigger.
Yeah.
But I did like that. This was visually very nice. This whole scene here with all the fireworks and all that, and all the ships that you see in there. And then they give you the map with showing you all the different ships and where they are.
Right. And what was surprising is the person who was commanding the Enterprise F, none other than Admiral Shelby. So obviously we remember Lieutenant Commander Shelby from The Best of Both Worlds, obviously from the Next Generation series, when Picard became Locutus and Riker took over the Enterprise. So she was a nice little cameo there, but that didn't last very long though, did it, Burley?
Oh God, no. Yeah, that did not last long, but it was a nice cameo. That was one I didn't see coming. I was like, oh wow, this is great.
Yeah. And then obviously all hell starts to break loose, because now because they figured out that it was the transporter systems that were, spreading the virus into all the younger crew members, because the parietal lobe, I think it is, or something, people over 25 years old, that stops growing. Stops. So basically anybody like Picard's age or Riker's age, or anybody maybe above 25 to 30 and above, they were not affected. Whereas, of course, LaForge's 2 daughters and all the other younger crew members, they became Borg. And so basically they took over the whole fleet. What did you think of that part?
That was an interesting little thing. It has to be. You got to be 25 or running. Damn you, youngins! Your youth, the youth.
Yeah.
They I do like that, because as soon as they're starting to figure it out, you could see on Geordi's face. He's like, "Oh, my daughters." He knows.
Right. And Data basically had to stop him and say, "No, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, we need to make a plan here." It's like, But all the younger crew gets infected, and so there's like firefights, of course, and they basically figure out that the maintenance, I think it's like in the maintenance shaft or something, there's a There's a couple of shuttlecrafts that they could escape on, and they get down there and they get into a firefight. And this was the saddest part of the episode for me, obviously. You know, Captain Shaw goes down. You know, and I was, when it came to him dying, I thought that, man, this is a lost opportunity in a sense for the writers, because I mean, unless there's a miraculous chance of him actually coming back to life again. I mean, because they were talking about this new possible series, you know, a new Star Trek series, and he could have been one of the captains of maybe the next Enterprise, or a continuation of the Titan, you know. But that's not going to come to fruition now, I guess.
You could always have a show with him in his earlier days, working up from an engineer to captain.
Yeah, but I think this Star Trek Legacy, or whatever it is that they were proposing, I think Captain Shaw would have been one of the leading characters in that show. So, but I really, you know, liked his ending in a sense, because the relationship between him and Seven at the beginning of this season just took a complete 360 turn, because in the beginning of the season, I mean, Seven hated this guy, and he was like a complete jerk, you know. And then and then at the end, I mean, he actually calls her by, you know, her chosen name, 7 of 9, and said, you know, it's not my ship anymore, it's your ship, you know, you have the comm, you know. And so what a way to go out, unfortunately. But you know, he was brave, and he helped to save the Next Generation crew, which were able to get on the shuttle, and they were able to get back to Ethan Prime, back to the Fleet Museum. And what do we see from Hangar Bay 12, Burley? So remember earlier in the season, of course, LaForge's daughter, Alondra, was saying, Dad, what about Hangar Bay 12? What was in Hangar Bay 12, Burley?
Good old Enterprise.
The Enterprise D. Yeah. And it was cool that they gave a little bit of background, because of course in Star Trek Generations, the saucer section had crashed on Viridian 3, but of course Viridian 3, that system, has not established warp capability yet. So because of the Prime Directive, they had to go and fetch the saucer section, and then the other part of the ship was from, I think it was the Syracuse, the USS Syracuse. I think that was the name of it. But
I believe you're right. It's been so long, so I can't.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, the Enterprise D is back, and it's interesting. Like in the shuttle, as they're coming in and they see the view of the Enterprise D, it reminds me of I think it was Star Trek 3. Was it The Search for Spock? Or when they're coming, or actually no, it's in The Voyage Home at the end of Star Trek 4, when they see the A. You know, it's kind of like their faces when they saw the D again. I kind of got that, that vibe about the original Star Trek crew seeing the Enterprise. Yeah, but so we get them on the bridge. You know, and the bridge looks exactly like during the Next Generation series, and Picard was even, talking about the carpet and all that. And but what was interesting, Burley, is as they were going to the D, Geordi was saying, obviously we can't use the Enterprise E, and then everybody looks at Worf, and then everybody looks at Worf, and then Worf is like, "That wasn't my fault." So, I mean, was he the captain of the E at the end? And did the E end in some type of demise? We don't really know for sure, but I thought that was quite interesting. What did you think of that?
That was interesting. I'm sure it is a part of some kind of some other show or some other books or something. This
probably
is something
books. Yeah.
Because it's the thing. Like, I haven't watched every Star Trek series, but I don't remember it from Next Gen or Deep Space Nine, him taking the E.
Yeah,
But
let us know in the comments, all of you that are viewing this, if you know what the demise or what the story is behind the end of the Enterprise E, and what happened. Let us know in the comments. We'd really like to hear from you on that. So, yeah. So, all right, Burley. So, to wrap it up, how is Jack going to defeat the Borg next week?
See, I don't know if it's going to be Jack defeating it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a thing. Jack may defeat it, but it may cost Jack his life. Jack be the sacrifice to kill the Borg Queen. You kill Jack.
Yeah. Well, obviously, the title of the final episode is called "The Last Generation." So now you have a group of Starfleet, the younger generation, the next generation, basically, who are all Borg now, and the last generation who were not assimilated. So it's like, how does that last generation overtake the next generation to basically defeat the Borg and to get everybody that was assimilated back to the way they were before? That's an interesting thing. So let us know in the comments what your theories are about the last episode. We're really excited for it, to bring it to you next week. Of course, the episode airs on Thursday, so we're looking forward to that. And of course, there'll be a sneak peek clip that comes out, and I will try to get that up here on the Arena Productions, as well as any sneak peek images from the episode. So stay tuned for those. But anyway, I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley. We hope to catch you in the next episode of Warp Factor 10, our show about all things Star Trek, here on the Arena Productions. So take care, everybody. Live long and prosper. Peace out.
Bye, everyone.